Peace and love. This is Khepra. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to get notified of any future videos. So, this is an update video, and the big update, the big change is that I've partnered with my teacher, my mentor over the last 20 years. Dr. Aris Interviews. It's such a blessing and an honor to really be in this position. All the work that I've done leading up to this, I feel that this is where my career is really should go and supposed to go. So I just really feel like everything is in alignment. It's always in alignment, even if whether it feels comfortable or uncomfortable. But yes, so it's really that's the big update, the big news. Who is Dr. Aris? If you don't know, I have a few videos on my channel where I interview him, and we'll do more interviews in the future because he just has so much to share, so much experience, so much knowledge. So maybe I'll provide those links to our interviews in the description of this video. But just for who he has been to me, obviously, as I mentioned, he's been a mentor and a teacher. But to the movement, I mean, he's a living legend. His name is with the names of people who have some are still with us, some have transitioned. People like Arnold Eric, people like Hilton Hotima, Hugh Carrington, Herbert Shelton. These are pioneers who've left us with literary science and experience to show us that the raw food movement is real. The results speak for themselves. It is definitely a practice and a cuisine that delivers results. So for me personally to be in this position, I definitely feel like a torchbearer, someone in a position to carry that torch to maybe hopefully be remembered in with the names that I just mentioned. And so what are we going to be doing? Well, we're going to be we'll be in Panama. We have the Land of Life, Portobello, Panama. We got exotic fruit trees, herbs and vegetables growing, and of course fresh coconuts on the farm. The farm is surrounded by a river, so we actually do have to take a boat to get to the farm. It's beginning in September with the Equinox. That week we'll be doing a detox retreat. The week following that, we'll be doing a certification retreat. And that's the last retreat we did in Jamaica. We did a certification retreat. And I'm going to provide either the footage, testimonials, and pictures on this video. I'll either edit on this video or I'll create another video showing you some of the highlights and the testimonials from that retreat we did in Jamaica, where we partnered and we offered a certification. And then we'll also be doing nature tours. Panama is an untapped, a lot of nature. A lot of Panama is actually still indigenous controlled. So Panama is really unique, and it's really given its connection with the U.S. Again, relatively easy for U.S. residents and people from around the world to come to. So I believe you do have to take a COVID test to enter in the country, but other than that, it's relatively easy. You don't need a visa or anything special to come to the country. But any other questions, I'll either I'll be able to answer, or you can find out very easily. But really exciting, as I said. Aris and I, we'll be working together beginning of September, and really it's going to extend throughout the year. So every month we'll be offering those 3 different program types. from Detox Rejuvenation Retreat will be primarily juicing, coconut water detoxing, limited raw food. From certification, where we're doing probably 2 classes a day, showing you all the science and the raw food techniques, culinary techniques, to a nature retreat where we'll be providing the food, but we'll be exploring Panama and looking at, what Panama has to offer from a nature perspective. All 3 are important, are critical. If you want to do all 3, or if you want to come for the month, we'll have options for that. So just really excited to, for me personally, obviously this new chapter in my life and in my career, my direction, like I said, to be aligned with, a living legend in the movement. And I guess next is, what does that mean for, what I have here in the local DMV area? Well, I still produce. I've been producing throughout the year, and will continue to produce. So you can go to Khepra'sRawFoodJuiceBar.net, provide the juice cleanse, provide the raw food on a delivery level. So if you're in the local DMV, we do deliver daily, and you can go to that website, check us out. Is there plans to open up a new shop? Well, that's a question mark. I would like to, and the timeline, my guess would be the beginning of next year. I'm going to really focus on the Sunfired Regenerative Center for the remainder of this year, and then see what the future holds for next year. Just really excited to just be in. I just want to, if you've been following me, I just really want to say thank you. For the love, for the channel, for the love that you provided to, for the services we provided, and I'm just really, for me, this is definitely a pivot, a career pivot to something actually that I've always wanted to do. Personally, it was ironic. The last 10 years I've had a shop, and what's interesting about it is that I never wanted a shop. I never, when I got into the lifestyle, I actually connected with Aris, right once I started eating raw food as my living, as my lifestyle, and wanted to do that, but just didn't know how it could have worked. So I guess we fast forward almost 20 years later, and here we are. So it's interesting how life can kind of bring you full circle in that way, and just really excited about this next chapter. So check out all the information, all the links. Join me and him in Panama. Hope that you can do that. If not, continue to support us in any other way. I do have my book, and I'm going to be writing more books, but that's been put on hold. I got some other things that I need to accomplish first, and we'll continue to just do the things that I've been doing, and hope, and I'm just happy that y'all supported the channel. Supported my products and the things that I've had to offer. So, last, I almost forgot. Definitely, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and more importantly, hit the notification bell, because I'm going to be releasing for free a complete raw food course on this channel. There's a course that I have existing that is a paid course that you can purchase on my website, Khepra'sRawFoodJuiceBar.com. But this course is very similar to that course, but I'm going to be releasing it for free. All I ask is that you like, share, subscribe to the channel, and everything from the philosophy, the science, the from entrees, desserts, side dishes, sauces, juices, you name it. So really exciting. Look out for that. I'm gonna leave it there. Like I said, either I will edit testimonials in this video or look for those in a separate video. Peace and love. Thank you again, and I hope that you have a well, I'll just see you next time. I'll be back. I'll be back sooner than the last previous time. All right? All right. Peace. All right. So tell me your name and where you're from.
Erin Horn McKinney from Cleveland, Ohio.
Right. So what inspired you to come on this retreat?
What inspired me was let me ask you something. Am I supposed to be looking at you or looking at the camera?
Looking at the camera.
Okay. What inspired me was having, over the past maybe 5-6 years, having a number of health issues that had come up related to my GI tract, and really being at a loss for finding the right fix. Of course, I went to all these different doctors and did all the normal things, and then I realized I really needed an alternative approach and a more holistic and something that was more customized to me. I tried, while still in DC, I tried one of the juice cleanses at Khepra's store, and that was the first time that I really felt amazing and felt a big difference. And so being on Khepra's mailing list and kind of seeing the different information that would come out, it just seemed to click for me that there was a connection in the right place to be. And so when the opportunity came up for the retreat, it just really was kind of calling my name to say, all right, if I really want to shift this lifestyle and make that commitment to myself, then I really need to invest in myself in that way.
Okay, so can you say that the retreat has met your expectations?
The retreat has actually surpassed my expectations, because I came here not really knowing what I was getting into, to be honest. I knew I was going to get good food. That I knew, because I'm familiar with the food and the juicing at the store. So I kind of thought that's kind of where it stopped for me. And I thought, like, well, yoga will just be kind of, icing on the cake. But what I got here was so much more. One, I think first and foremost, that it was the connection with other like-minded individuals who were kind of on that same journey, even though we might be at different points of that journey. That community and that family that was created, and that energy from the very beginning that's kind of, it's hard to even put into words, because that made all the difference in the world, right? There was no judgment, there was a lot of comfortability, there was a lot of support and understanding, and we learned a lot from each other as well. So that was probably just amazing. But then to come here and have this view every day, to have this amazing food, to do different forms of yoga, to kind of open you up and kind of just approach everything, this healing process holistically. There's so many things that I got out of this that I'm still processing, to be honest, but it was really just what I needed. And sometimes you get things like this where it's even more of what you need that you didn't even know that you needed.
Now, you mentioned that you had some health challenges. What was the most challenging aspect of this week?
The most challenging, well, the most challenging for me was really about trying to keep up, because I think out of everyone here, I probably had the least knowledge prior to coming, whether it's the types of foods or the techniques, or I didn't know Khepra's menu inside out like everyone else, and so there were special requests made. And also, to be honest, this is more personal. I'm not the best cook, because I've had so much anxiety around food. So I actually don't really like, just the kitchen is like, ugh. for me. But that's just because over the last 10 plus years, I literally was choking every time I was eating. And I couldn't figure out why, and doctors couldn't figure out why for the longest time. And then realizing, one, developing food allergies or that I didn't know that I had, and two, developing an immune condition, that it was, for me, the challenge here was getting comfortable in the kitchen and kind of just letting that guard down to that it's okay, and that eating every day and not choking and feeling good. And like, I've even noticed, like, I don't have circles under my, like, dark circles under my eyes just in the week that I've been here, and just like, I feel like my skin is glowing, that you know, that even post here, I'm trying to think a lot about how do I carry that when I go home.
Okay, so speaking of going home, during this whole week, we've been able to, as been mentioned, support each other, work together, really create a real true healing space, and a fun space, and a loving space. Going home, speak on maybe the potential challenges. Will you be able to take what you've learned, what you've experienced here home? Because that's what it's really about.
That's my goal. I mean, the first thing is organizing my kitchen and making the investment in my kitchen to be prepared to do that. But I mean, that's part of when you sign up to do this, you know that that's what you're going to do. But I think for me, it is the bigger challenge outside of the kitchen and kind of like regionally where you live. Like, I'm in Cleveland right now, but I'm in the process of moving to Minneapolis. So in both places, I mean, you're not able to just walk out and grab a mango or walk out and grab a lime, but that doesn't mean that you can't, right? You just have to maybe, you know, so I'm thinking about not just where to shop, but really investing in my own home garden and things like that to make this more accessible. But I think that's something that people should be doing anyway. But the biggest challenge is having my family adapt to it, or because you almost, regardless if they want to eat it or not, it's hard for you to cook for your family and provide for them in what you're thinking is like poison to them, right? So it's like, because I already, if I'm enlightening myself to make myself healthy, I want that for them as well. But I know with kids that might be a difficult kind of a difficult transition.
What was did anything stand out this week? A highlight, highlights, anything you want to share in that regard?
Oh my gosh, there's so many highlights. I think, I mean, every day and everything we did was a highlight. So every meal that we made, I mean, for me, this whole experience was like mind blowing, because I just realized I didn't know much at all. Even though I started kind of researching, I just was not at all, like I said, up to speed with even others that are in the class, because a lot of them have either been in this lifestyle for a while or have done a lot of research, much more further along, and have been committed, where this is a newer commitment for me. But the highlights for me, I guess if I had to like narrow it down, I think doing the demonstration at the end at the Indigenous Rasta Village was amazing, because even as we were doing it, I was kind of I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do this. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a cook, I'm not a chef, but I felt like it just flowed, and we were doing it, and we were a team, and like we were getting it. And even seeing the response of the people in the audience to the food, and they didn't have all of this background either, was just amazing. Like, where you can show people just by tasting it that they can immediately taste the difference, and that they were able to just watch one demonstration and really embrace it. So that was really eye-opening and amazing. I think having a highlight for me is having this intimate exposure to a you're not able to do, or you can't necessarily communicate over email or what have you. So having that time and really having that energy amongst the group. I think the other highlight for me would be the having the opportunity to the hands-on piece. I'm very visual, I'm very hands-on, and so like just being able to really, and not necessarily being forced, but encouraged to, everyone had to step up and participate. And so even if you didn't know what a piece of fruit was or whatever, like you would learn, and you would learn how to incorporate that into a recipe. And so those to me were some of the biggest highlights. But you know what, last I'll say is and probably this is the main highlight. The main highlight for me is having such a better understanding about this as a lifestyle, and it seems like common sense stuff behind it that you just realize you've kind of been brainwashed to ignore common sense, which is really just listening to your body. And that kind of how that lifestyle has come together and for people, and they live by this and have, you know, looking at Aris and even other people who have had the longevity and the health for so long is really inspiring.
Okay, any last thing that you want to share? Anything you didn't touch on?
Two things. One, I know this is being used to create some things, and I think for me, and I've shared this a little bit before, but just as kind of more clarity to it, I would love to see how this is evolves into either having a separate one that's just for kind of beginners, right? Or, because I kind of like being mixed in with people who have more information, because they could share that information as they go. But just thinking about the basics for people. So even as the guide is being developed, you know, the basics are explaining the different, you know, fruits, and I know some of that's happening. But like I think talking to more people about, because there's some things that if you've been in this lifestyle, you forget what it's like when you first started, and all of this is new. So it's in a way a bit overwhelming. And so what I'm kind of more concerned about is trying to remember everything and having it to go. And it would have been great, we had some of the guide with us, but it would have been great to have that guide along that whole way so I could take notes within that guide. And I think the second thing is I just really want to say thank you to Khepra and Aris and to the other participants for this experience, because for me it was there was so much healing that happened just even within this 1 week for me personally. There was so much renewal, you know, refocusing, a bit of a rebirth in a lot of ways, but I feel much more on my path and my purpose just from this 1 week. And sometimes it just takes those kind of unexpected and kind of leaps of faith, because I came here by myself not knowing what I was getting into, to really get you on that right track. And so this has been so amazing, and I feel just like so vibrant from the energy and the love and the great food that I received during this week.
Thank you so much.
I am a man who has no fear, but these tears won't leave me alone. Or am I saved to no one's hand? No one turns, oh, not even the chair. must agree, you know. Jamaica, not the sunshine most of the time, and the vibe is laid back. Sensi Jamaica grows and cool rivers flow. There's no snow. Hey, still I'm working my way home. I'm Jamaican born and raised, but I was stolen from Africa's shore. This island is fine, but it ain't my home, and my soul wants to go. I am a